Before you check out today's video, if you happen to miss the reaction, make sure you go ahead and check that out. Links in the description. Hey, what is good, everybody out there? Thanks again for checking in with Court Thoughts, the channel. We basically talk basketball. If you like basketball, first and foremost, this is the home for you. And if you haven't already, consider liking and subscribing. Please, please, please do it. It's absolutely free and it's a great way to help small content creators like myself grow. That being said, let's get into today's video. Now, I do have a little secret that I think is one of the things that makes Caitlin Clark such a deadly shooter. And if you want to know what that is, you've got to stick around to the end of the video. Now, the first thing that I'm going to be talking about today is pace of dribbling. One of the things that I noticed that she is fantastic at is recognizing whether or not she needs to push the pace or she needs to pump the brakes. Listen, there's a lot of examples in fantastic ability to control pace that allows players to understand the impact of change of pace having a benefit on your game. If you want to look at a fantastic version of that in the WNBA, check out my video on Kelsey Plum. She has a fantastic change of pace game. She loves to lift her head up and sort of lift her chest and sort of control her angle of attack. And that really throws players off in how to close off and what to do when trying to slow her down. And another example of that is Luka Doncic, who I also did a video on. If you haven't seen that, please make sure you go ahead and give it a watch. When I'm talking about both of these players in comparison to Caitlin Clark, we have three completely different styles of play. Now, the reason why I'm pointing all of these guys out is because the impact in changing the pace of your dribble and having control on the pace of your dribble generates opportunity. And by having opportunity, I have more of a chance in being a threat. Now, if we look at the example of Kelsey Plum, she's a fantastic finisher. She has the ability to sort of really get into the bucket and loves to finish around there. Now, if we compare that to Luka Doncic has a really good mid-range game and long game, but he's a little bit slower, has a little bit more of a slinky dribble, likes to really play around with that space and utilizes things that Caitlin Clark also does, which is the head hezzy, sort of lifting your chest up and looking at the bucket and changing that sort of body position really throws defenders off. Now, when we're talking about Caitlin, why is this so powerful? Because it ultimately gives her the ability to see, how am I going to beat you? Defenders, you ultimately are in a really bad situation when you're playing against someone like this, but you always need to understand that you're basically trying to make the offensive player make a decision. As offensive players, our job is generally to try and inflict what decisions we want. So if we want to drive, we want to create scenarios where we can drive. And if we want to shoot, well, we want to create situations we can shoot. But Caitlin is actually really smart because she's allowing it to generate three separate things. It's generating driving opportunities. She's able to get into the bucket and play off those mismatch situations that they were creating off of screen actions. Also generating space to create her shot if the defense sags off of her. And also my next point, which is passing related, she's able to sort of stop and allow her teammates to get down the floor. One thing I've noticed with a lot of younger players is that they're in a rush to get down the court. You should always have an understanding of where your teammates are. So if you don't have your head up sort of looking and surveying the floor, you need to make sure that you start doing it because it's going to do you favors in the long run. Make sure that you're aware of where your teammates are and listen, change of pace creates opportunities, and they're opportunities you want to have. The next thing I'm going to talk about is make life easy. I remember when I was young, a coach said to me that the ball always moves faster than the player, and you want to move the ball around, keep the game really simple. People talk about the beautiful style of play where you swing the ball around and the ball does all the work and defenses have to sort of react to that. In being unselfish, we allow opportunities to make the game easy. And a perfect example of this is Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is an NBA champion for a reason because he has the ability to generate passes from unlikely positions, but because he's a threat in multiple different avenues, it creates fantastic opportunities for him to generate passes. Teammates have to move in order for you to be an effective passer. You can, obviously have impact by generating different types of passes, but We could see a perfect example of where Caitlin picked the ball up and the defense crowded up, but if it wasn't for her teammates making a cut, well, she would have been out on an island. So make sure that you're trying to keep your passing opportunities live. I know that you can't always stop from picking up the ball, and sometimes it's the smartest thing that you have to do. If you have the ability to create passing opportunities for others, it feeds back into you. Let's think about this a little bit deeper. In order to make life easy, I really want to have my whole team firing on all cylinders. If I go out and get hot and maybe I drop 40 points, that's fantastic. But if the whole score is 50 and we lost by, 30 points, well, me having a 40-point game doesn't really do much. As a player, I want to go through and I want to be the most effective player that I can be. And the easiest way by doing that is generating smart options for my teammates and smart options for me. Now, by being a fantastic passer and changing and reading the game, I can actually affect the game in more ways than you may realize. Now, I've mentioned this previously that in the Book of 5 Rings, it talks about a principle of 1 is 1, but 2 is 4. And what do I mean by that? If I'm an effective shooter and I just shoot, I'm only going to be effective if I shoot and if I score from that shot. Okay, really it's 1 is 1. But if I can pass the ball and get the ball into teammates that then can be effective, well, now the defense has to deal with both ends of the scale. You've got one problem in, well, I don't know what to do in crowding this player, because if I crowd them, well, they're going to pass the ball and they're a fantastic assist machine, like Caitlin is. And so she generates buckets for her teammates. Another example is, well, they go, all right, she's passing the ball, she's not shooting, and they sag off, and then she laces it in their face. Now you've got 4 problems. You've got the shot, you've got the pass that creates the shot, and then you've got the shot that creates the pass. Now the shot that creates the pass is head fake pass, and then the pass that creates the shot is like pass, shot, right? So that's what we're talking about in thinking about the game in a different direction. You have to challenge how you think about the game. Don't do the same thing, and don't be selfish. Go out there, make the game easy. Now, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is a little secret that helps you with long range shooting, and it's the secret of the set point. Now, in order for us to explain this, we need to understand the set point. If you really want to get an in-depth discussion about shooting and shooting techniques, I released a video a long time ago on 1 versus 2 motion shooting, and you can actually see Caitlin's shot is a 1 motion shot, and so check out that video. It's going to give you a lot of hints and tips. But set point, what is a set point? A set point is where the ball goes to initiate your shot. Hold up. I thought that's the shooter's pocket. No. The shooter's pocket is the region on our body we like the ball to be as we start our shot. The set point is where the shot begins as we start the propelling motion of the shot. Normally you can reference this by when your elbow is opening or the hinging action of your elbow is taking place. This line can become blurry when we have a 1 motion shot because it's less defined. Most people, it's going to be their sort of midsection, but Caitlin's is actually her hip. She brings the ball into her hip and generates her shot there in this 1 motion pushing style. This is one of the secrets that allows Caitlin to be such a machine when it comes to that long range shot. Where she sets the ball is exactly where she bounces the ball to. It's the high point of where the ball is being bounced. And now this just creates a real problem. A real big problem on the defensive end. Having a 1 motion shot is a fantastic tool in shooting from the long range, and you can definitely see Caitlin is exceptionally comfortable in shooting the long range shot, but there's a couple of details that you need to understand in being able to be effective. Number 1, you can see that she's exceptionally on balance. When you have a 1 motion shot, you need to be on balance. And number 2, she's very confident in the shot because she's practiced the shot. You can't go out and think that you can shoot like you're Steph Curry and you ain't going out and shooting at all. You got to get reps in, and she's absolutely putting in the work. So if you want to be an effective shooter like Caitlin, you need to get the ball to your pocket quickly. You need to generate a smooth release in your shot motion or your shot mechanics, and you need to work on your shot. It is a repetition game. You need to repeat So get them shots up. I had a lot of fun in doing a reaction to Caitlin's game, and it's one of the videos that's generated me a lot of views in my previous video. If you didn't see that, go ahead and check it out. Links in the description. But as a small-time creator, it's really easy to just go, oh, that works, and then want to go back and generate another video from it. And I didn't want to go through and check out another video, but I had people hit me up on the DM saying, hey man, you need to do another video on Caitlin. And then I thought, you know what? It's been long enough. There's a lot of detail that we can learn from the game. And look, the things that I've covered off is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm sure that there's a bunch more things that we can find if we continue to watch more videos from Caitlin. But the big thing that I want to shout out is that you can learn a lot from how players play, and from players playing in different positions and players playing with a different style. Just because you're a guy, they're a girl, doesn't mean we don't have anything we can learn. Of course you do. We need to borrow from each other. We need to help each other. This is how we get better, all right? We help each other. And look, that's ultimately what I'm trying to do in my videos for Court Thoughts, spread love and awareness about the game of basketball. Speaking of spreading love and awareness, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure you jump in the comments, you let me know. It helps with the algorithm. Like, subscribe, share, all that goodness, especially as I'm trying to hit my 10K milestone. But look, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you so much for kicking it with your boy. And until I see you next time, make sure you're looking after yourself, you take care and be safe. All right, peace.